Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. In this consecutive session, the person who is added by me, as you are watching on the screen, Mr. Abhay Kumar from Delhi. Mr. Abhay Kumar, viewers from several countries and maximum from subcontinent are watching you, and maximum from Bangladesh and India. I mean the audience from our side. So before starting our fundamental conversation, please introduce yourself in a synopsis. Then we will talk about the most significant and most contemporary sensational issue, which is controversy regarding hijab political, which is regarding hijab, and we know the politicians are discussing about that incident. So please introduce yourself. Then we will talk about the hijab dispute.
Thank you very much, Kabir Bhai, for giving me this platform, this opportunity to express my view. My name is Abhay Kumar. I have studied at Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU, where I had a lot of friends from Bangladesh, and I have learned a lot from them. They are very good people. And I also write in newspaper. I sometimes express my views on social media. And I have a long experience of working in journalism, I think more than 2 decades. And I left my job to pursue higher educations. But when I became doctorate, I studied some books. Indian media houses said that you do not deserve any job. So I just keep writing. And but basically, I'm interested in minorities issues, social justice issues, and my ideology is largely oriented towards left and social justice. Thank you.
So there is an indistinguishable question from each and every spectator that still especially the mobs, those who are superstitious, they are claiming that uh, basically in Karnataka province, they are claiming that wearing hijab is opposing the integration among the students in educational institute, while since 1947 there was no regulation in the constitution of a secular India. So please explain that elaborately. How competent is their point of view?
Indian Constitution gives fundamental rights to its citizen, including minorities, that you are free to profess your religion. There is absolutely full religious freedom. You can have your faith. You can also propagate it peacefully. And there are also minority rights, which refer to the rights given to minority communities, those who are Muslims, Christian, Buddhist, Parsis, and also other communities. So they can open their school, they can teach their students in their own mother tongue, and they can run their religious institutions, and a state will not interfere. So these are very good things in Indian Constitution. But Kabir Sahab, you know it very well, that good laws, as Dr. Bhim Ambedkar, Baba Sahab Ambedkar has said, that good laws in the book do not guarantee that the weaker section will get justice. Those laws are interpreted, are used by people sitting at the corridor of the power. They are politicians, they are police officers, they are administrators. And if they do not come from marginalized community, if they are not oriented towards ideology of the social justice and welfare of all, then what they will do, that they will put one excuse or another excuse to scuttle whatever rights are given to minorities. The situation is very grim in India. It's very sad. People are fighting. Also in France and other places, you have also seen that, if I'm correct, last year there was also controversy in Switzerland. So these are wider issues. These are wider issues. I have done my PhD on gender questions and minority, and this is my hypothesis. This is my argument that basically what is happening, that right-wing forces, those who are doing majoritarian politics, they basically take the ideology of equality, liberty, fraternity, gender justice to beat the minorities of their community. I think this point needs further elaboration. I mean to say that the leaders of majority politics, they are not seriously concerned about doing welfare and doing good things to women, to other marginalized community. They are doing politics. They will never talk about the problem of caste system. They will not never talk about the problem of widow. They will never talk about child marriage. They will never talk about educations to Hindu women or Muslim women or Indian women. What they are doing basically, they are picking up one or two issues, emotive issues, and they are using media, because media is being funded by them, media is being paid by them. So with the help of media, they are basically running this narrative. Look at those minorities, they are against the development of the country. They are running their business against the teachings of a constitution. Indian constitution says that a state should have no business with religion. But what is happening in this country? Politicians are doing religious politics all the time. While they are doing all the damage, they are violating the spirit of constitution. They pick up easy target, the weaker section, the poor people, the marginalized people. And we have seen such things in other society also, that how Jews were victimized, how in other society in France Muslims are being victimized. We know it that in subcontinent how Hindus are being victimized in other places. So this is not only the questions of Hindu and Muslim. This is the questions of my majority and minority, the powerful and the weak. The powerful who are doing all the damage, what they will do, they will not take any responsibility. They will put all blame on Muslims minority. In the case of India, look at those Muslims. They are going to offer namaz. They are not learning English language. They are wearing burqa. They are wearing hijab. They are continuing with triple talaq issues. So they are the majority forces, the politicians. They are basically demonizing it. The politics of demonizing Muslim is creating legitimacy for this right-wing government, who has very little business to do welfare of the people. And hijab ban is being done just before Uttar Pradesh assembly elections. My friends who do not know much about Indian politics, Uttar Pradesh is the largest state in India, which has got more number of people. I think most populous state in this country. It has got more number of seats, if I am correct. There are 70 seats, 70, 80 seats in Uttar Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh is very important, and in Uttar Pradesh the incumbent government is Hindutva government. They have failed miserably to give jobs. The government has failed completely.
Sorry to interruption, brother. Who are the major in number, Hindu or Muslim in Uttar Pradesh?
In Uttar Pradesh, the majority is Hindu, 80%, 80%, 75 and 80%, and the Muslims are 20%. Around 20% I'm talking about. Around, it may be 22, it may be 21, around 20 and 80. But the problem is that all Hindus are not put on the similar platform. Hindu society is caste driven. Hindu society, according to Baba Sahib Ambedkar, does not have any fraternity. Why there is no fraternity? Because people are divided into thousands of castes. And if lower caste people are suffering, upper caste people, many people who are born in upper caste, they will not have much problem. They will say, hey, these people are lower caste people. Why should we be more concerned about? I am not talking about everybody, but I am talking about general mentality. I know there are good upper caste people also. So I am not demonizing any community, but they are not sensitive enough. Dr. Bhim Ambedkar said in 1930s that I was born as a Hindu, but I will not die as a Hindu, because he said religion is not all about supernatural things. Religion is not all about rituals. Religion is all about social feeling, fraternity, community formation. If A religion is not treating its people equally, people must leave that religion. So I am coming back to this point that in Uttar Pradesh, the right-wing government are facing crisis, the facing challenges, facing tough questions from voters. So just to divert that attention, they have picked up a hijab issue, and I am sorry to say that many people from progressive sections also, they do not understand that hijab, sari, bindi, these are not the real issue. These issues are deliberately raked up. They are just like mole, but they are projected as mountain, Himalayan mountain. In 19th century and in early 20th century, some social theorists had this ambition that society is moving towards modernization. Society is copying everything from Western culture, Western civilization, and they thought whatever West has achieved today, the backward society, the uncivilized society will achieve tomorrow. But this is their fallacy. The development of West is not only because of West. Many parts of the world has also contributed to that development negatively, positively. Many scholars who have written a lot about science, who were born Muslims, those learnings were also utilized by Enlightenment thinkers, and they continued that tradition. And after that, they started saying Muslims are backward. Our South Asia was colonized, and our wealth was taken into England, and that also contributed to their development. So what has happened? That colonialism and then appropriation of other traditions, these were the factors for the rise of the West. Imperialism is also one of them. But now West started blaming the colonized, that you are backward, you are backward. And many people who were in the South Asia, they studied the literature of imperialistic forces, colonial forces. They did not realize that in fact the blame is put on us. The blame is put on us, and we are projected as inferior. So a person who is wearing sherwani is said to be backward person. A person who is wearing coat and tie is seen to be very progressive people. But I said, no, dear friend, this is not correct. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, I have seen several pictures of Baba Sahib Ambedkar in sherwani, and Baba Sahib Ambedkar was very much influenced by Western thinking, by Buddhism, by the idea of equality, liberty, fraternity.
You were talking about the progressive mindset and primitive mindset according to attire. So those who are wearing the saffron shawl, are they belongs to primitive orthodox, or will you treat them as a man of progressive psychology?
I know many people who are oriented towards left, and they are friends of minority in this country. I'm not doubting their integrity, and I'm not questioning their work. And I have also interviewed them on the same issue. And when I ask, sir, what is your opinion about hijab? So they will say the forceful ban on hijab is not supported, but hijab is not a good thing. I said, okay, hijab is not good thing. So you tell me one thing. If hijab is not good thing, how could sari be a great thing? How could bindi be a great thing? And even the left leaders in this country, in West Bengal, they all the time, they don't wear a coat and pant. They also wear dhoti. So should we call them backward? Our leaders, those who are oriented towards left ideology in southern India, let's say Tamil Nadu, maybe Kerala, they wear dhoti, sorry, lungi. I don't know what they call it in their local language, but dress cannot be the mark of somebody is being progressive and somebody is being regressive. Friends, it is very sad that if somebody wears one set of dress, you appreciate, you say that person is very progressive, and another person wears another set of dress, you call them very backward, fanatic. That is not true. Even in a family, I am telling you, even in a family, people choose different attires. I will give you my own example. In my family, nobody keeps beard. and I have started keeping beard. And that keeping beard has not started with my birth. I started keeping beard after 2012, and sometime I feel that now I should save it because it is very difficult to manage. Sometimes I feel like this. So people change their behavior, people change their choice, people change their dressing sense. These are all part of life. Those who are criticizing hijab, they are not looking things sociologically. It may be the case that many girls, Muslim girls who are not wearing hijab, they will start wearing hijab. There may be the case that many girls who are wearing hijab will stop wearing hijab. It may be the case that one sister is wearing hijab, another sister is not wearing the hijab. So dress cannot be criterion to decide that somebody is fanatic. I don't know why people are so regressive. If we like food from Bangladesh, if you like food from Delhi, if you like food from Lahore, how could salwar and sameez will be attributed to one religion and dhoti and kurta will be attributed to one religion? I am asking even the historian of attire and dress, tell me, is it not the fact that one tradition has influenced another tradition as far as the evolution of dressing sense is concerned? Look at the figure of ideal Hindu in 18th century. Look at the figure of ideal Hindu in 17th century, 6th century, 11th century, 20th century. You will find that that image is very different. I am telling you, brother, from my own experience. I was born in a village in Bihar, which is northeastern part of India, and our place is very close to Nepal. In my area, in when I started shaving my beard and my mustache, I am talking about 2004 and 5. Then it was a big issue because now the elders thought that you should keep mustache, you should not keep beard. But you go right now in my village, the trend is that most of young people, they are not keeping mustache. But later when they saw Virat Kohli and other models keeping beard, they started keeping beard. So friends, our taste is not constant, and if government is really serious about imparting education to most marginalized community, which is its responsibility, constitutional responsibility, they should provide education to Muslim women. There should be more scholarship, there should be health facility, there should be political representation in parliament and other institute, there should be provision for giving education in multiple languages, there should be more efforts to bring them to the process of decision making. But what is happening? The Hindutva forces have very simple agenda. They will not work for poor people. They will make everything to make rich more richer because they are funding them from the behind the scene. They are funding their election campaign. On the other hand, just to divert the attention of the people, they have put media in their pocket. And in India, it is very sad that they have got one scapegoat, that is Muslim. Muslim is a scapegoat. Everything, for every failure, I am telling you, for every failure, you blame Muslim. Corona pandemic, you take the example of Corona pandemic 2020, our Prime Minister announced national-wide lockdown in the month of March. No homework was made, no social security was given, and in Delhi, thousands and thousands of migrant workers, mostly coming from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, they had no food to eat because when the work has stopped, the owner is not giving any help to those workers. Those workers started moving on foot. They covered 1,000 kilometers. Can you imagine? They covered 1,000 kilometers. Many of them died, and many of them were crushed by the train because they were taking railway track as the route. And one day they had food, they slept, and then train came. They never realized that train can come because the train was not running at that time. When the crisis was exposed completely, then what was the master stroke by our ruling classes? Pick up Muslim and communalize the issue of crisis, pandemic. So nowhere in this world the religion of corona pandemic was found. Our brilliant politicians, they came to know that corona pandemic is being spread by Muslims. So they started propagating this story that Muslims are responsible. They are sitting at one place in Delhi known as Markaz, Tablighi Jamaat's office, and they are not following any, what should I say, any protocol, any guidelines, and this disease has spread. But what has happened? Even the court has said, Maharashtra High Court has said that Muslims were made a scapegoat. So my point is that religion is being used by the ruling classes in this country. This is very sad. And this is not exclusive to our society. In other society also, the method, the technique is the same, that you demonize the most weak, you demonize the most marginalized. You take the example of France. What has happened? The Muslims community were blamed that they are not following freedom of expression. They are against freedom of expression because the right-wing forces they argued that Muslims have attacked some cartoonist who drew the picture of the Prophet. The problem is not exclusive to India. You take the example of France. The most marginalized group is Muslim. They live in slum, and the right-wing forces in France, they are questioning whom? They are questioning Muslim themselves, that they are not upholding freedom of expression. They are fanatic. So this is the case in India also, that the government has failed, but the success of this government is that they will all the time take up the issue of hijab, sometime Tablighi Jamaat, sometime Mandir, sometime temple, sometime mosque, sometime this, sometime that, and a communal atmosphere is being created, is being maintained, and that is very sad, and that is very unfortunate for this this country, for India. Winning election may be important for a party, but maintaining the harmony, maintaining the ethos, respecting the syncretic culture, these are more important. One party comes to power, another party is defeated. That can happen. But this is my request to those who are deliberately using communal politics, that please stop it. Please stop it. This will ruin, this will destroy. Former Chief Minister of Bihar, Lalu Prasad Yadav, has said very important thing media is not talking about, that religious politics is being played all the time, and this country is being pushed towards civil war. And he has said that the responsibility lies with the ruling classes who are doing religious politics. So once again, on this platform, I want to say that the questions of hijab is not at all linked with progressive ideologies versus regressive ideology. The hijab is banned by this government not to make Muslim society empowered and Muslim women empowered. Had the government been serious to work for the Muslim women, they would have increased the scholarship, they would have opened schools, they would have extended facilities related to health, but nothing has been done. Even in triple talaq case, the government did not give even a single rupee to a Muslim women, but crores and crores were spent on media management, on so many other things, on making hoardings and congratulating. So my point is that we are fighting this issue here in India. We are fighting it. We believe that race cannot determine somebody's being progressive and regressive. People must have choice, and in 21st century people have come to realize, and people are increasingly realizing, that pluralism is better option than uniformity. Uniformity was the idea of Hitler that has destroyed Germany. Any society which is going for uniformity will be destroyed. Why? Because nature does not like uniformity. Nature likes diversity. You go to any place, any garden, will you see only one kind of flower? You go to any jungle, will you see only one kind of plant, one kind of tree, one kind of animal? No. Because to maintain ecological balance, diversity is better options. So the educated society, the progressive society must stop this issue, must close this issue. Wearing hijab, let me also reiterate, is not the sign of being regressive. And not wearing hijab is also not the sign of not being religious. I have just interviewed a lower caste Muslim intellectual in Delhi in this evening, and he has said very important thing, that banning hijab is bad, but the hijab should also not be forced. If a girl, if a woman is not wearing hijab, one should not question her character. That is also bad, because we should not reduce human being to something like a robot, and somebody will put key and that individual has to go like this, operate like this. I know, I have studied Islam also. Many things which are today being said as part of Muslim society, I'm sorry, these things are even not mentioned in Quran. I know many scholars have also argued that always refer to Quran, because in the later period many religious scholars interpreted Quran and they have wrote something that may not be suitable at this time. I am not questioning the intention of those ulamas, but our thinking is also determined by our time.
So, do you think that if the Indian Constitution provide privilege to the Muslim ladies and girls, including education, it can be possible to establish peace and tranquility perpetually in the entire India, including Karnataka province?
See, there is no problem with constitution. I am saying this fact with responsibility. See, you can add many things to the constitution, but the problem is not flowing from the fact that there is something written in the constitution and the executive is interpreting them, and that is why there is a conflict. No, you are deliberately misrepresenting that law. Deliberately. I will give you one example. the government has said in the court that banning hijab is justified. When asked how could it be justified, so the government position is there is 1983 Karnataka Education Act. Okay, that act says that any dress that disturbs equality, integrity, and law and order should not be allowed. My point is, I have known this fact that foreign invasion has disturbed the integrity. I have read in the book that class conflict has created disturbance. I have studied the event at several places that government not doing good thing has created anger. But tell me, is there any evidence on that basis you can say that a dress can disturb law and order? You tell me, a dress can disturb a law and order? A particular dress can disturb the integrity of this country? A particular dress can disturb the equality of this country? That is absolutely useless. That is absolutely useless. How could my wearing a coat or my wearing a dhoti or my wearing a sari can disturb equality of this country? That is useless. That is useless. So what is happening? That executive is misusing power and they are making laws that are against the constitution, that are every day misused. So it is the responsibility of honorable judges to strike them down. How could you make laws like that? How could you make laws like that in a society which is plural, which is democratic? How could you monitor somebody's dress? I teach political science, and this question we give it to our student. Tell me the difference between liberal state and authoritarian state and totalitarian state. There can be several ways to answer it, but very simple.
And I am adding something. I am, according to my knowledge, I am adding something with you. Please mute your mic. And there is no relation with the integration of a country and attire. If anyone attire the suit code, it doesn't mean that he is still supporting the British imperialism. The reason behind that, the Lord Mountbatten, while he was leaving India, and when in the 1947 when Indian Pakistan was created, he wore the suit and tie, and that does necktie. That doesn't mean that if I wear the tie and suit, I am still supporting the British imperialism. In the same case, still the Sikh people, even the diplomatic Sikh personalities, still wearing turban and they had beard. According to this is the part. This attire is the integral part of the religion. So we know that the late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. We know about the story of the assassination of Indira Gandhi. He was killed by his Sikh bodyguards, and if a Sikh boy wear turban according to the regulation of his religion, this is the integral. This attire is integral part of his religion. It doesn't mean he is supporting the assassination of Indira Gandhi. It doesn't mean the former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, the former cricket all-rounder Harbhajan Singh, he is not supporting the assassination of Indira Gandhi. But still the radical superstitious, they are claiming that wearing hijab is something like the supporting the Talibanism, supporting the militants in India. So how competent their point of view? Please explain elaborately with relevant facts and figures.
This is just propaganda. I think I have read some work. Many anthropologists have argued that the invasion, the attack on Afghanistan was made on the very basis of the conditions of women. the Western media have portrayed that Muslims women in in Afghanistan are suffering under the Taliban rule. I am not saying that women are free, but to say that under the Taliban regime, women are really dying, they have basically exaggerated the case. We have differences with Taliban. Maybe you have, I have, many people have. But to say that only women are suffering in Taliban and elsewhere women are liberated, that is very wrong. And on that basis, what they have done, they have gone and they have attacked. And I am asking any honest person, Taliban and the condition of women before the invasion and Taliban and the condition of women after the invasion, do a comparative study and please be honest with your answer, that whether the attack has empowered women or the attack has disempowered women. And if the imperialistic forces were really serious about empowering women, they could have taken other route. They could have not gone there to kill people, to bombard the area. So my point is that I am not saying that Muslim women have got no problem, but the Muslim women problem is not very much different from the problem of Hindu women. So why can't we talk about the problem of women without taking into account the fact that who is Hindu and who is Muslim? If you open girls' college, let's say in a particular area in Karnataka, Hindu girls will also go, Muslim girls will also go. If you give a scholarship for women, Hindu girls will also get, Muslim girls will also get. If you have widow pension, Hindu women will also get benefited, Muslim girls will also be benefited. But Kabir Sahab, the forces, the right-wing forces everywhere will make minority very special case. They will make minority a group posing threat for the national unity. I will give you one example.
But before providing that example, I have a question. At the beginning of our conversation, you are telling that Muslims are always treated as easy target. Maximum spectators are blaming Muhammad Shami because of his religion, and condemn someone's religion for failure is definitely pathetic, and that was explained by Virat Kohli. I admired by Virat Kohli the way, in a very creative way, the way he explained, the way he protested that type of ridiculous point of view. That was absolutely incredible. But my question is, several type of minorities are living in India, like Sheikhs, Buddhists, Christians as well. Anyhow, my question is, why Muslims are treated as easy target? Even Sonu Nigam, one of the famous singer, he criticized announcing azan in the mosque because of his publicity. You know what? He never ever criticized about the noisy kirtan song in Gurudwara. He never ever criticized the massive sound of church bell. Why he criticized announcing azan? Please explain. Why? My question is why Muslims are easy target? Why only the Muslim minorities are easy target in India?
The first thing is that Muslim, Christian, in the writings of, what should I say, Hindu communal forces, they are painted as foreigners. Somehow Savarkar, who wrote the book Hindutva, has tried to accommodate, and I'm telling you, accommodation is not serious, it is not honest, it is just political accommodation. Savarkar has tried to accommodate Dalits, Sikh, Jain, Buddhist within the larger Hindu fold. So it is some kind of appropriation also, and some dishonest accommodation, because he came to know that in democracy vote number is very important. Upper caste to upper caste, whose interest he was articulating, they are very minority, very small minority. So they will not enjoy power if they do not have numerical strength. So they have to make the Hindu body large body. That is why they included them. And as far as Muslims and Christians are concerned, they were excluded, because according to Hindutva ideologue, Muslims have their fatherland, the holy place, outside India in Mecca, and Christians also have their holy places outside India. So they are outside of the national body politic. On the other hand, those who believe in civic nationalism, secular nationalism, their point of view is that no, religion, culture cannot be basis for excluding and including citizens. It should be based on secular criteria. So Abhay Kumar or somebody Muhammad Siraj living in Delhi should be given equal rights, should be given equal protection, should be given equal privilege. This is the ideology of secular citizenship, secular notion of citizenship. But the communal notion of citizenship is that no, Abhay Kumar is a Hindu, Abhay Kumar is a Brahmin. That means that he is authentic Indian. He is the real son of Bharat Mata. And Siraj is a Muslim. So in a cricket match, he may be playing in favor of the neighboring country. That is the rot in their mind, in their head, which is responsible for this hangama, this mistrust. Friends, we should not question the integrity of our fellow beings. Once somebody has decided to be a citizen by birth or by other means, he is equal to you. But the right-winger forces, not in India, elsewhere also, they somehow try to make the ethnic basis of their nation state. And if there is a tendency to make ethnic basis for any country, the country will see civil war, as it has been seen in 1970 in the former Pakistan. So if Bengali Muslim winning the election is not given power, because you are not trusting that Bengali Muslim, you are trusting only Punjabi Muslim, that is the example of Savarkar's nationalism. That somehow you think that Bengali Muslim is not speaking proper Urdu. Bengali Muslims lifestyle is different. Bengali Muslims food culture is different. That is why I will not trust that person. That will destroy the country. That will destroy the society. It may happen today. It may happen thousands of years later. This is what I think. You can reject my view. But I believe that secularism, civic nationalism should be the foundation for nationalism. And your question that why Muslims and Muslims are targeted easily, one thing that they are seen as foreigner. Even the Hindutva leaders like MS Golwalkar has identified three enemies in India: Christians, Muslim, and communist. He deliberately did not write Dalits and lower caste and women, because if he wrote against them, how could he claim larger Hindu unity? So in their heart, Golwalkar has enmity towards Dalit also, towards women also, towards lower caste also. But openly, since he has to do politics against secularism in favor of majoritarian politics, so he has demonized Muslim on religious ground.
But brother, why not Sikh? Let me ask you one question. Why not Sikh?
Sikh
as
is
you
also
told that,
Sikh is also seen as a part of Indic culture. Sikh is also seen as a part of Indic culture.
you are telling that Muslims have religious holy place in Makkah. Christian as like as they have a religious place in the out of India, but Sikh have, yes, they have Gurudwara. They have in Amritsar they have a religious place, that Golden Temple. But you know what? There is a most significant religious place is also situated in Lahore in Pakistan. This
No,
area is also treated as the most significant place, as the religion, as the most significant part of the religion, and the most significant matter is the Bhagat Singh, who did protest against the British imperialism. He also killed in Lahore, and while he was dwelling there. So my question is, the Bhagat Singh is still treated as an ideology in the entire India, but he was killed in Lahore and he was born in Lahore and he protested against the imperialism in Lahore. Although he moved to Calcutta, but he maximum contribution did against British while he was dwelling in Lahore. And we know what. I forget about the name. There is a most religious significant place situated in Lahore there, and even in Peshawar also. So, what is your point of view about that Sikhism?
see, Savarkar was not giving universal law like sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. He was basically trying to justify his politics. I will give you one example. If Savarkar is saying, and I have said these things for so many years, nobody has paid much attention to my argument. If Savarkar logic is extended in America, just take the example. Abhay Kumar is studying in JNU in New Delhi, goes to America, finds a job, and he stays there for some time. And if an Englishman, if a American right winger reads Savarkar book and says that those whose holy places are not in India, sorry, not in the national boundary outside, should not be trusted. And if that person, the white man, comes to me and says, Mr. Abhay Kumar, your holy places is not in United States, so you are not the loyal citizen of this country, I will throw you out. So what will happen to me? So this is bogus argument. But what is happening? People have no courage to say that this was all bakwas Savarkar was doing. He was basically polarizing people. He was telling lies. He was misrepresenting. And he was justifying his hatred. Nobody is saying. Nobody is saying. But I will say. I will say. Because by the end of the day, we belong to same humanity. Same humanity. Even if national boundary cannot be demolished because of the time, at least we should have our open heart for our brothers. If there is a problem in Bangladesh, the Indian government should be the first person to send medicine there. Similarly, if India has a problem, Bangladesh should be the first country to send help, to send assistance, because you are my neighbor. Who will come to save? Who will come to save me? But what is happening? Bangladesh, India, this conflict, this infiltration. What is this politics? If my government and your government is responsible for the security of the country, then why they are doing politics? Whom they are blaming for? Whom they are blaming? I am asking. Whom they are blaming? If you are not able to stop foreigners coming to India, you should resign. But why you are making this as an electoral issue? So either you are wrong, you are misleading people, or you have not done your duty. So basically the agenda is to create confusion, to create hatred. Keep the fire of hatred aflame. This is the agenda of right-wing forces.
In several provinces in India, Muslims are remain victim of mob lynching for eating beef or slaughtering cow. In each and every Eid ul Azha, we know that I emphasize around 29 provinces situated in India, but in each and every year we are observing the news in print media and telemedia that a Muslim boy or a Muslim man was brutally tortured. He had faced atrocity. Even in some cases, the Indian police just suspecting that there was a cow in his home, but this is not, this disappeared. The reason being that probably he slaughtered that, and even someone eat beef, he is brutally killed, and he remained a victim of mob lynching. And how it can be stopped forever?
Brother, this is very sad, very tragic. I don't know that how much pain, how much emotion, sensitivity is needed to explain the attacks on the Muslim on the basis of possessing a particular meat. So sad, so sad. I don't know. People are not realizing that what has happened in India. Maybe 50 years later, 60 years later, when the, what should I say, when the Hindutva forces will be the part of the history, that time historian will remember my word. From 2014 till today, I don't know, now the cases of mob lynching has not been reported, but it was reported more in 2015-16, if I am correct, 16-17. Killing human being for possessing meat is severest crime which the government has done. Or if I am not correct, the government has at least protected those who have done those crime. Or even if I am not corrected, the government has not taken interest to save the life of the Muslims. That is very sad, very sad. And a section of Indians, they have come out in the street, they have opposed it, and slowly, the Hindutva forces came to realize that now they have to change their game. They have to change their game. And now in the age of social media, things are being recorded, it is circulated. Now news reaches one place to another place very fast. So they are also calculating. When the cases of mob lynchings are not being seen in the media, we have seen communal riots in the heart of capital 2 years back. So somehow the minorities are being victimized, being harassed, being attacked, and by attacking them, the right-wing forces are creating their communal base and justifying their rule. See, the previous secular governments were appeasing the Muslims. We are teaching them a lesson. The time has come for the Hindu resurgence. But whenever any community, any religious group starts talking about resurgence on the basis of religion, that is not resurgence, that is the beginning of destruction. Because being close-minded, being not open to other culture, having hatred in the heart against people who do not profess your religion, that is not the sign of good health. That is a sign of pathological mind. And they are doing just for power and just for money and just for their material benefit. But I know there are several prime ministers in our country whose name young generation don't remember. So they will come and they will go, but history will remember their deeds, that they have not done welfare. They have created hatred, and their mortal life maybe 100 years, 200 years. But they have to carry the burden of doing injustice to the most weaker section till human civilization, human beings, this earth, this planet survive. So I again appeal from your platform to the ruling classes, not only of India but also elsewhere, who are listening, कि we are first इंसान, human being, मनुष्य हैं हम. Please do politics, but don't become mad, don't become fanatic, don't become shaitan, don't become cruel in your politics, that you keep killing, attacking the most vulnerable section, and you don't feel troubled. I'm telling you, I don't know how they are made. If I become leader and if my administrative area, if some people are killed, I will become disturbed. I will think that this is my responsibility. I will think that how I will go and face their children. But here mob lynching has happened. Their children have become orphan. The wife has become widow, and the leader has no concern. And you know what has happened? Some leaders have gone to garland those who are mob lynchers. Just see the pathology. Today, this is justified in the name of nationalism, Hindu resurgence. But I know my voice is minority voice. People will think that I am talking too much, or I am saying bad thing about my society. But Baba Sahib Ambedkar has said, it is very easy to be patriotic and to fight against your so-called enemy countries, but it is more difficult to fight against enemies within your country, because you will be killed. You will not get medal, because they will say he's a gaddar. He's gaddar.
Okay, brother, time to draw the conclusion, because
Yes,
it's
so I
almost
request, okay, I am concluding. I request all of you that we should not think that somebody has to take the responsibility. Whatever we can do, very little, I'm telling you. Just keep your heart open. Just do very little things, I'm telling you. Things will be changed. Just do very little. Wherever you are, don't think that if you are in Bangladesh, you will come to support the Muslims in Delhi. Support your minorities in Dhaka. Support them in Chittagong. Similarly, Abhay Kumar should not think about Hindus in Chittagong and Hindus in Dhaka. This is the responsibility of Kabir. My responsibility is to save my brother in Delhi. Because doing politics on the minorities of other country is very easy, but speaking for the minorities of your own society is very difficult. And here Baba Sahib Ambedkar has said that social reform is speaking against inequality within the society is much more difficult task than talking about inequality in other society. So with these words, I think that I have touched many things. Some issues are touched in detail, some are just underscored. But I maybe that if I have said something wrong, please forgive me. But try
no,
to understand my spirit.
you
Try
drag
to understand
many,
my spirit.
you
What
have
I'm trying
dragged,
to say.
brother, you have dragged many significant matter which was out of our knowledge, and today's session was definitely most significant, and it will definitely create concussion among the superstitious also, among the progressive, among the people who are still following primitive orthodox, and hopefully those who are exposing hatred, if they follow your ideology, what you are explaining in that session in my platform, they will definitely follow your philosophy for the sake of tranquility. And okay, and I admire by you the way you head on the intensity, that is absolutely incredible. And I am still thankful to you, and you, as you are protesting against racism, as you are protesting against making easy target to the Muslims, and you are still protesting against the instigation and creating provoke against minority. maybe Hindu, maybe Muslims, for fulfilling political interest, that is definitely heinous, and we should keep ourselves aside from that. And before before ending, I have to say something, that if not in India, if in the entire world, if each and every parent have a only one son like Abhay Kumar, the entire world will turn into paradise. We should not wait for the paradise after death. Before death, we will taste paradise. Uh, if each and every parent have a at least one son like Mr. Abhay Kumar, or at least one kind-hearted man like Mr. Abhay Kumar, and most probably the viewers will definitely provide the thumb if they are watching me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
God bless you, and I hope one day you will definitely be the Prime Minister of India. We hope so. Khuda Hafiz, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum.
Khuda Hafiz. Khuda Hafiz.